Hello, everybody on YouTube and our dear Sangha, our live Sangha that's here today and showing love on YouTube and everything. It has been an amazing couple of years connecting with you indeed. And I'm very, very grateful. And this little video is just to tell you about the book that we finished. It's a short, kind of a manual, and the link is in the description. It's free. You can check that out and read it and utilize it. And it's all about our four phases of freedom, okay? The same thing that our retreats are based on. And that's the recognition of awareness as the nature of mind, familiarization, pure effortlessness, and then full liberation. And it may seem like a goal orientated thing uh, that we're trying to get to this fourth phase. And that is a conventional sort of part of it that I suppose we have to accept. But um, it's more like we have seen a mountain that's already here. We're not trying to get to the mountain. And so with Dzogchen, the awareness practice, it's saying, hey, this is already here. This great compassion, this great wisdom. And so you get an introduction to awareness, which basically known as a clear light nature of the mind, Rangshin or Svabhavana. And with that, your cognitive spectrum increases naturally to include all cognition. And so the mind is then introduced to a broader scope of cognition. And then when you get introduced to clear light, which is all around us, and verify that and all these things, but also light rays with the bindus, we can see light rays, we can see light phenomenon inside the light rays. Now your spectrum of your reality can increase, your Nirmanakaya can increase. So awareness is allowing the full spectrum of cognition. Togyal and the light practices are allowing the full spectrum of appearances, phenomenon, and noumena, I would say. So these things are able now to breathe out of their reifications and constraints because you've been introduced to one little part that's outside of the spectrum that we've been limited to. Much like anything works, the visible spectrum, the audio spectrum, we can only hear certain sounds. The dog can hear things that I cannot hear. Well, just like that, I can read text the dog cannot read. So I'm just seeing things the dog cannot see. I'm cognizing things the dog cannot cognize because of the spectrum. The spectrum is wider. That's why we worship the mantis shrimp. Because it has like 32 photoreceptors and can move each eye individually and probably can see our souls when we're walking around, but who knows? But this is actuality, okay? That's just the way that it kind of is. And so you get these introductions at first, and then we're so lucky to have these live gatherings every day, twice a day, because without that, you can do data dumps on people with this information, or you can lead people on with emotional, um, delights by telling you nothing exists, and you're like, yeah, nothing exists. And then right after, an hour later, you're like, I got a headache. But it doesn't exist. Your headache doesn't exist. So Dzogchen's a little bit more responsible. We have these gatherings. We have inquiry discussions. We have fantastic text explorations. We are acceptive of all religions and approaches if they're talking that real truth, if they're talking about the same thing. Dzogchen's not the sole proprietor of this truth, that's for sure. Advaita Vedanta, Zen, the Theravadins with consciousness without surface. There are many that have been underground, so to speak, and kind of secret, but they are out there. Perhaps even the Gnostic Christians and Jewish mysticism, right? I feel that this is not a kind of isolated truth. So anyway, we get introduced to a wider scope of our mind, kind of the next phase here, and warming up to that, we begin to learn how to embrace effortlessness and self-liberation. That's the core of this approach is to get used to leaving things be, because there's a lot of doing right now in this presence. You don't need to do more stuff. If you have the sangha, you have teachers, you have scriptures, then you can effortlessly go into this safely, and all the doings can come off of you, the protective doings and the desirous doings, all these things. And what's left over is your pure enlightened mind, pure beingness, the very mind that's thinking right now has always been pure and free. So thank you, everybody. I hope you could check out the book. It's 4 chapters, very pithy. And that's all I really have to say about it. I may benefit all these practitioners. I know you're out there searching. I know people have been introduced to the nature of mind and you don't know what to do next. I know people have gotten empowerments and all these things and you don't know where to go from here. Um, we don't have to end our Dharma journey. This is the next phase, okay? See your Buddha mind, warm up to it, be free.